Nearly 250 boats, more than 600 sailors and almost every possible watercraft you can think of. This is Asia's largest multi-class regatta, which takes place in the Gulf of Thailand each year and is known as the Top of the Gulf Regatta. Celebrating its 10th year, Top of the Gulf started with the aim to promote sailing in the Gulf of Thailand and encourage boats of differing types to compete. 10 years on, and the regatta has grown to become the largest of its kind in the region. The size and diversity of the regatta today is testament to the founders and their vision. One of those founders, Bill Gasson, has played a leading role in many of the country's regattas. A veteran of Thailand's marine industry, he's worked tirelessly over the years to put Thailand on the global sailing map.
The regatta was started 10 years ago as a result of my and others wanting to put a regatta together that represented all of the classes of boats that were racing in the Gulf of Thailand. We had started already in 1987 the King's Cup, and then we got a little bit closer with starting Koh Samui about 12 years ago. So we looked around and decided that a multi-class regatta representing all of the types of boat that were sailing in the Satahip Pattaya area would be ideal. There was only one place to do it, Ocean Marina, so that at least for the keel boats that we were trying to attract and the plateaus and various other larger boats, the Ocean Marina was the only and obvious choice because of the facilities.
Top of the Gulf is unique in its inclusiveness, encouraging boats of varying sizes to come together in a single event. Having such a variety of boats competing requires different course areas and separate race management teams, and the organisers work closely with the Royal Marina Yacht Club, Yacht Racing Association of Thailand and the Royal Thai Navy to deliver just this.
The regatta consists of 3 or 4 major, if you like, regattas within the regatta, and the umbrella of the Top of the Gulf Regatta. First, you've got the normal keelboat racing and dinghy racing in all classes for the top prize, which is the Top of the Gulf trophy, and everyone gets a replica plate who wins to go away, etc., etc., etc. But within that, part of the deal was that when the plateaus came to stay at Ocean Marina, we would provide them with certain racing, of which the Coronation Cup was one of the events. So that is incorporated. We also offered to run with Wairat the Thai Nationals for optimists, and we have done that for the last 10 years. And this year, as an addition, the RS1 Olympic board class are holding their Asian championships for this year in conjunction with the Top of the Gulf Regatta.
It's this multi-class format and desire to work with many stakeholders that has made the Top of the Gulf the success it is today. And for Thai youth sailors, it's become a platform for them to develop their talent. Racing under IRC this year were 23 boats split over 4 classes. Running the keel boat and multi-hull course was the well-respected PRO Dennis Thompson. Flown in from Australia together with his able team, they delivered a mix of courses over the 4 days in some challenging conditions. So challenging were the conditions this year that Day 3 saw the abandonment of races for most keelboat classes due to the lack of wind, meaning on Day 4, the final day, they had to deliver a packed day of racing to complete the series. And they did. In the cruising division, 7 boats of differing vintage lined up, both charter boats and a strong locally owned fleet. The all-Thai crew on Amanda, led by Swedish owner skipper Lennart Falgren, was a pre-race favourite with their local knowledge and experience of the race area, expected to provide an advantage. A first and third on day 1 for Amanda saw them take an early lead, which they extended with another win on day 2. Another all-Thai team on Sansiri and the Japanese crew on Thai 2 were pushing hard, and there was little in it at the halfway point. Despite the fluky winds on day 3, the cruising boats enjoyed a long passage race along the coast towards Pattaya, and it was Sansiri that scored the win, which moved them into the lead going into the final day. The final day showdown saw Amanda win and tie at the top with Sansiri. The countback broke in favour of Amanda, with Thai 2 placing 3rd overall. In IRC 3, the larger boats, El Coyote and Levant, struggled in the light airs and had to battle it out at the tail end of the fleet. The race committee moved the X99 Hijinks, who normally sails in the cruising division, up to IRC 3 this year, causing a stir. But with a 2-1 scoreline on day 1, their decision was quickly vindicated. Hijinks were making their mark with another win on day 2, while Magic and Suway 1 were trading places. But for a second place in race 4, a series of third places saw Magic secure 3rd overall, while Suway 1 took it to the wire on the final day with 2 wins, beating the Singapore Management University team on Hijinks on countback. The racing was equally close in IRC 2, with a strong fleet of top racers from around the region, including the unbeaten Foxy Lady 6 from Singapore taking part. With a long list of regatta wins to their name in Japan, the slick crew on Karasu were here to mix it up and determined to stamp their authority on the class. And over the first 2 days there was very little between Karasu and Foxy Lady 6, places being traded between them. Having a close battle mid-fleet were Blue Note, Fujin and Windseeker, and it was Windseeker who sailed best over the 4 days to come out at the top of the group and place 3rd overall. 2 wins for Foxy Lady 6 on the final day, and a surprising DNC in the final race for Karasu saw the Japanese crew have to settle for 2nd overall behind the unbeaten Foxy Lady 6.
And we had some really good, competitive boats in our division this year, including Karasu, the Japanese entry. And that was always going to be hard to beat. And they've had a great track record over the years, and that's just about unbeatable, I think, in the last couple of years on the Asian circuit. So I was really looking forward to this week, and see if our 5 regatta unbeaten streak with Foxy Lady could get another one. We started pretty badly, actually. It seemed that everyone wanted us to end our unbeaten streak, and everyone seemed to be tacking on us up the first beat of the first race, and they pushed us out right where the breeze was very unfavourable, and we actually end up last in that race. So not a good start to the regatta, but we had a really good second day. Actually, we looked like we were winning the long race, but the Japanese guys, credit to them, they beat us by 20 seconds in a 2.5 hour race. And our backs were against the wall, thinking how can we beat these guys? But today a different story. We went out there all guns blazing and started really well. The game plan was to start underneath them and squeeze them off at the start and basically stick with them for the first half a mile, and it sort of paid off. We got the edge on them today and beat them in every race to just win the regatta.
In the Ocean Multi-Hulls class, they enjoyed a close battle over the 4 days, with the top 3 boats trading places throughout. Performing best in stronger winds and over longer courses, Sonic came into her own on day 3. The day when most classes didn't manage to complete any races, the multi-hulls were sent off on a coastal course south to Pattaya, and Sonic showed her colours, taking the win, their second in the series, tying them at the top with Cedar Swan going into the final day. 2 races on the final day saw everything change. Mojo won both, and with that, the top 3 were all tied on 9 points. Never before in the regatta's 10-year history has any top 3 been tied at the end of the series. countback broke in Mojo's favour and their stunning final day performance secured them the class title. Running the on-water side of any regatta is no easy feat, and having experience in multi-class regattas such as Top of the Gulf is essential. That's why the organisers bring in one of the best, Dennis Thompson, a legend on the Australian racing circuit.
This regatta's unique. It's similar to a couple of North Queensland regattas that I do. The same sort of feel about them, the very party atmosphere, a very diverse type of boats, from very fast multi-hulls to very good IRC boats, right through to the average weekend cruising boat. They've all got a chance to race here, so I see a lot of that, particularly in the North Queensland regattas. There's a lot of that happens, so yeah, it's quite similar in that way. It's a great place, and it's a great culture, very friendly people. It's different sailing conditions, it's warm. Come and have a go. If you don't bring your own boat, think about chartering a boat. There's cruising boats here to charter. Come and have a go. You'll have a great time. It really is a good way of coming to see Thailand, of coming to see Southeast Asia, and also get some great sailing and have a lot of fun.
Regatta organisers are active in supporting grassroots sailing in Thailand, and incorporated into the Top of the Gulf is the Thailand National Optimist Championships. Bringing together the top youth sailors in Thailand and offering a platform for developing sailing talent, the National Championships welcomed almost 130 youngsters from Thailand and around Asia this year, and the competition was fierce. Aged from 7 to 16, the youngsters battled it out over 3 days for the 39-year-old trophy. It was a tough 3 days with fickle winds and testing conditions. The light winds meant 5 races were completed, and going into the final day, the top places were still up for grabs. After taking an early lead in the series, Malaysian youngster Muhammad Fauzi bin Kaman Shah slipped up on the final day to finish 3rd overall, just 1 point behind national team sailor Suton Yampanid. However, mastering the conditions best was Thai girl Sutida Punpat from the Junior Sailing Squadron of Thailand, who sailed to victory and was crowned the 2014 Thailand National Optimist Champion. On the dinghy course, a total of 53 boats are competing, including Laser Standard, Radial and 4.7, Bite C2s, 420s, 470s and 29ers, as well as Hobie 16s and Nacras competing in an open beach multi-hull class. A number of current Olympic sailors are joined by many more Olympic hopefuls, and in the laser class, the competition was tough.
Top of the Gulf, I think it's a really good competition. Previous year, I think there's like strong wind, light wind, wave, current, and a lot of sailors compete here. The competition is like I have to sail with a Thai boy sailor who went to Olympic in 2012. His name is Kirati Bolong. But he's in laser standard, so it'd be like handicap. This regatta, every year there is foreigner come here for competition. In laser class, they are from Hong Kong, Malaysia, or Singapore, but mostly it's Hong Kong and Malaysia.
Thai Olympian Kirati Burlong led the laser fleet from start to finish, adding another Top of the Gulf regatta win. Up-and-coming sailing star Kamonwan Chanyim, gunning to represent Thailand at the next Olympics and with a 2nd place in the laser radial division, here she showed she had the skills to go a long way.
I like laser because it's a single-hand boat. I like to sail alone. It's like I think by myself. If I do mistakes, so I blame myself. There is laser radial in Olympic in 2016. I want to be first Thai woman to go to the Olympic.
In the double-hand dinghies, it was the Thai pairings of Totsapon Mahawichyen and Sarawut Petsiri and Navid Tamsutorn and Natbat Marasiri who topped the 420 and 470 standings, whilst Nopagao Punpat and Nichipa Waiwai placed first in the 29er fleet. Back for a third year were the RS1 windsurfs, and this year Top of the Gulf were hosting the RS1 Asian Championships. 21 windsurfers from Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, Hong Kong, Japan, Indonesia, Myanmar and Sri Lanka were competing for the honours. And after 5 races, it was Thai sailor Natapong Poonparat who won the men's division and Pattaya Danai Jinin the Espoir men division. In the women's division, Hong Kong ruled with Sinlam Sonia Low unbeaten and Wai Yan Nai winning the Espoir women. Back on the keelboat course in IRC Racing 1, it was the TP52 Oi that got off to the best start with 2 wins on day 1, while the 42-footers Island Fling and Wanmarang traded places. Oi continued with another win on day 2, leading from start to finish, while a second for Island Fling saw them grab a 1-point lead in the overall standings from Wanmarang. Following the lack of wind on day 3 and subsequent cancellation of racing, day 4 was make or break. The winds were up and 3 races were scheduled. Undefeated heading into the final day, the title looked safe for Oi, and following a win in the first race, the Australians had one hand on the trophy. However, Kevin Whitcraft's Thailand-based crew sailed brilliantly to deliver 2 wins for Wanmarang in the final 2 races of the day. But it was not enough to displace Oi, who took the series title, but it was enough to tie with Island Fling and secure second place overall on countback in what turned out to be a thrilling final day of racing. Ocean Marina has been the home of the Top of the Gulf Regatta since the beginning. Providing a safe haven for boats each night, one of the regatta's strengths is the marina base.
Ocean Marina has been involved with sailing as well as other boating activities for the last 20 years. In the past 10 years, some of the sailors got together and we thought that it would be nice for us to push this to another level. So we started racing different class of boat using handicap system. And the first year there were very few boats coming out to race. Soon as the word got around, people knows about us, both local and international sailors. So people started to come. But we always keep the format of the event and the racing on a casual and enjoyable and entertaining manners. Ocean Marina business is in property development, and of course, there's a big facility in the water that we need to fill. We've been able to do that very well. 2 years ago, we expanded 25%. That's about 100 slips for boats. In addition to that, we also cater for hospitality services. We have hotel rooms and variety of food service facility on site.
Having undergone a series of expansions in recent years and with further expansion planned, the marina is now the largest in Southeast Asia, accommodating up to 378 boats in the water, up to 50 metres in length, a large hard stand and dry dock area, as well as the fantastic shoreside support services, accommodation on site, and all the facilities provided by the Ocean Marina Yacht Club. Indeed, it's the Yacht Club where prize givings are held each evening. Outdoor on the lawn becomes a gathering of novice and professional sailors, young and old. It's where the 600-plus sailors come together in a friendly, informal atmosphere unlike any other regatta in Thailand, something much appreciated by the participants.
I particularly like the fact that it's out of a marina, so you don't have to moor your boat offshore. You know, we go to the King's Cup, we go to Samui Regatta, and it's dangerous leaving your boat at anchor offshore. Here, people can come ashore, just step off their boat, come up to the bar, relax, take it easy. Camaraderie as you look around here is pretty good as well.
I think it's a good venue. I think the races are generally run quite well. Generally it's a well-run regatta. It's really convenient having a marina where the boat can lie alongside, and yeah, very good. Parties are good and good atmosphere.
The marina is also home to the One Design Plateau fleet. These 25-foot Bruce Farr designed boats offer up some of the most competitive One Design racing in Asia, and with over 20 based in the marina, it's the largest fleet of its kind in the region. These high-performance One Design racing machines produce some of the closest racing on the water, and this year a 14-strong fleet competed for the Coronation Cup, a prestigious perpetual trophy that commemorates His Majesty, the King of Thailand's date of coronation. Day 1 saw some close competition over 3 fast and furious races. After placing third in their first attempt at the title last year, Tigrina, led by Andrew Moore, were back, and a 1-2-1 scoreline saw them take an early lead. With past winners Scott Duncanson's Kingdom Property and Chris Way's Easy Tiger 4 and a whole host of top crews from around the world, the Coronation Cup was set to be one of the toughest yet. The shifty winds and storms on day 2 saw a number of individual recalls and a general recall as start positions were becoming so important. A wind shift in race 2 saw Tigrina on the wrong side of the course and falling to a 10th place finish, impacting their series standings, while consistent sailing from Easy Tiger 4 and another win for Kingdom Property kept them both at the top of the standings. Despite the best efforts of the race management team, Day 3 race abandonment for a number of the classes, including the Plateaus, meant it was all down to a final day showdown. Beating Easy Tiger 4 by 20 seconds to win the first race on the final day meant Kingdom Property jumped to the top of the standings. Needing to keep Easy Tiger 4 behind them in the final race, Kingdom Property finished the day with a 4th, 3 places ahead of Easy Tiger 4, and enough for Scott Duncanson to win the Coronation Cup for the 3rd time in its history. 3rd place went to Team Viewpoint, who pushed Tigrina into 4th following an 11th place in the final race. The 10th top of the Gulf Regatta came to an end marina side with a lavish gala dinner hosted by the Ocean Marina Yacht Club. Winners across the 11 classes were celebrated in front of their peers, and everyone enjoyed a fitting finale to another successful Top of the Gulf Regatta.